Doesn't it suck like when a magical goat wizard basically transforms into Ego the Living Planet and takes over the Earth? Powerful Nerdcast assemble! Stay dandy, baby. Dragon Ball Super Chapter 65 manga has finally arrived, and it's pretty much the beginning of the end of the battle between Goku and Moro, and this is a divisive chapter to say the least. We both just got done reading it. I've heard a lot of opinions about it. I've heard a lot of spoilers, and now that I've finally had a chance to read the chapter, I don't exactly hate this one. I love a lot of the creativity behind it, but the fact of the matter remains, Goku done fucks up again. He decides to give a villain a freaking sensu bean, a villain which consumes freaking planet. This guy's basically anti-Moro. What is Goku thinking? Christian.
Okay, because here's the thing. When I was keeping track of everything about this chapter. I was watching some of the spoiler videos that were coming up on YouTube. I was looking at some of the early production images that we were seeing. There's a lot of great channels that put that out and like share that information, like everything Dragon Ball Z related, they just immediately put out. I would say Dragon Ball Super, rather. And I was excited, but I agreed with the internet when they were saying Goku's writing is bad. This is not a well-written manga anymore. Like, that was the immediate reaction. And I was like, maybe there's a method to his madness. And maybe this is just like, we have to accept this is who Goku is. He is the guy that will give you a second chance, no matter what. That is his real defining character trait. Not that he'll always have a new transformation. Not that he's always the most powerful. It's that he gives bad guys a second chance.
We're long past the days of kicking a grenade in General Tao's face or plowing a punch directly through King Piccolo's body. This is a Goku that has existed for a long time. I'm getting flashbacks reading this chapter. I mean, remember back on Namek, which was about to explode in like 30 days. Saga. And, you know, all those moments where the villain is seemingly defeated and he still ends up giving him a second chance, and it always ends up screwing him over. This is a Vegeta maneuver. This is like something he would pull off with Cell, allowing him to get to his most powerful form. This just seems so annoying at this point.
This is a character trait of the Saiyans. This is a character trait of Goku. And if you don't like it, obviously you haven't been watching the show. I feel like most of the true fans didn't really have much to say because they're like, this isn't the full manga. You know, I don't know how to feel about this yet. And I agree with you. I think in your intro, when you said, I read it, and I don't think I hate it. Because at the end of the day, it was an action-filled, beautiful artwork piece that still stays true, and it gave us more information about Ultra Instinct. It gave us more information showing how Goku truly has mastered this versus Moro, who's just copy-pasting it, and it's not working. And I think just in general, I liked where they went with this and what they explored in this chapter much more than I hated it.
I felt like if we got to this whole direction with Moro somehow getting the power of Ultra Instinct and transforming into a giant blob-like monster that sort of fused himself with the Earth, you know, I'd still love it, and I do love it here, but I just felt like if it wasn't for the whole Senzu Bean arc, that I probably wouldn't be as upset. Okay, so this whole Senzu Bean thing is crazy, but it also brings up another question. Should we be holding Dragon Ball to such like a high standard of seeing it
Shakespeare?
As exactly, or should we just be having fun with this classic series that's been around for a long time, which has honestly made so many retcons in the past that it doesn't even matter? Let's put it this way: Dragon Ball is not high art, but it's really fun to read and watch. And it's always been like a cornerstone of like everything I love about anime and manga, which is its over-the-top storytelling and its characters and, of course, the amazing fight scenes.
And its heroes.
And this chapter delivers on all of that. There is some awesome stuff in this chapter that I just dig so much. Let's talk about the positives here. Let's talk about Goku using Ultra Instinct, which at this point, I mean, they're going to have to create some stupid villains to go up against him if they even want to stand a chance here. My favorite scene of the entire chapter is when he gives him the bean. Not the actual bean part, but the fact that Moro actually like grows his hand back and he starts to immediately attack Goku by punching him in the chest. And he just ends up breaking his hand, like just by punching him directly in the chest. Goku is now basically just a solid wall that you cannot break through at all, to the point where you will break limbs if you simply try to attack him. I can't remember anything like this ever happening in Dragon Ball before. I mean, we've seen characters who punch someone and it won't do anything, but for them to actually like break their limb, I don't know. I just thought that was just a raw, awesome display of Ultra Instinct and its ability other than just being able to dodge things all the time.
It is not a Dragon Ball super heavy move for people to break arms.
No.
You know, it was a very...
At least not in that sense.
No, it's just, okay, he's hard, he's tougher, he's faster. You know, those are the terms we see, but we don't usually see people break limbs when they're punching someone.
Yeah.
I mean, there was Vegeta breaking his arm against 18.
Yeah.
But that was like a traumatic ending to a fight, and it was
Yeah.
here. They sort of save those for endings for fights.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, where it goes later, where he gets his gym hand back, where he was actually able to like grab the angel.
Yeah, Maris.
Maris, yeah. And where he gets Ultra Instinct powers granted to him, copy-pasting them.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And I completely forgot about that's a really cool detail how they're able to use that like first part of the battle, because I actually had to like go back and look at the battle with Maris where he actually does like knock off his hand and everything. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's not that out of the realm of possibility. This guy uses magic to a crazy degree so he can reattach a hand and do all types of crazy stuff. But basically, yeah, he ends up getting Ultra Instinct and is able to go toe-to-toe with Goku until he realizes that he can't contain that crazy power. And you got to think about it for a second. Goku can use Ultra Instinct, but he's still, you know, even though they say he's perfected it, I still think there's more for him to learn in terms of actually utilizing the technique. Someone like Maris, who it comes to naturally and it's just a part of them, I'd like to imagine that Maris is more powerful than Goku.
Yes, he's a godly being,
Yeah.
not just a I don't know. Dragon Ball Z also has some weird power scaling, but there is nothing harder, or there is no more of a power scale than an angel.
Exactly. Like there's
this
the
point.
angels and Zeno, and
Yeah.
below them the gods of destruction. Like
Yes.
that's the arc we're looking at here. And like Moro has just taken on a crazy amount of power, but I didn't expect that he was gonna fuse with the planet, which overall I think is a really cool image. Like that gnarly shot
head
of the
coming
end.
up
Yeah,
and
the
then
head
firing
coming
that
up
beam.
and the hands and the beam firing across the entire planet. I will say this, one of my favorite things about this arc, I love how even with how crazy the series manages to continuously get, they always give us some sort of new visual to show how far the characters have come. Like in a previous chapter, it was Goku punching Moro and it sent a shockwave
Through the
around
planet.
the planet.
Yeah, around the
now we
planet.
have like literal shots of them flying around the planet really, really fast. Like before, we've seen them flying all over the planet, but to see it from the outside and see them just doing it so casually and basically making laps around the place.
It kind of gave me flashbacks to Superman versus Flash,
Exactly.
because they use that imagery a lot in that competition.
A lot of that like American comic book imagery is starting to be thrown in here.
But let's be honest, they've been fast enough to fly around a planet instantly for a long time.
I know, but just visually is what I'm saying. Like the way that they're actually portraying it, I think
Yes.
it looks pretty damn cool.
Yes.
And
one of the few one-up moments that Moro had against Goku is where he
Exactly.
actually matched and beat him speed-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Goku made it very clear that, hey, man, you haven't trained with this ability. This is something we've seen many times, with Frieza getting golden form, not training with it, and then the heroes beating
Moro's
him.
just like, training is for the weak.
Yeah.
So this guy just was inherently born with all these crazy magical abilities that just came to him like second nature.
I just think he's been able to control every power he's ever stolen up until now.
Yeah.
This is the point where he got it wrong.
My other favorite thing about Moro basically becoming a planet is of how unique it is. I can honestly say no other villain in Dragon Ball has ever done anything like that. So visually speaking, it's really cool. And of course, it's all a part of his special plan. It basically gives him the ultimate protection. Goku dare not harm Moro now because it could potentially destroy the entire planet because he's fused with it directly. But even Whis brings up the fact that if the planet itself were to be destroyed with all of its planet power being absorbed into it and the power of a freaking angel, it could very well annihilate the entire universe. So that reminds me again that Vegeta is here. And of course, he has a brand new technique to defuse things.
Yes.
They're going to have to bring him back to take Moro away from
Yes, they are. That has to be where this goes. Vegeta, okay, not the most powerful, but the most useful.
the planet. He still gets to play a role.
Yeah, he's Usopp.
Maybe he even gets the...
He gets to shoot a green
You've
thing
already
at something.
reduced him to Usopp
I
status
know,
at this
Usopped
point. Come
him.
on, he's at least Zoro at this point.
No, he's Usopp. He's going to shoot the green thing that we finally need to tangle it up with vines. That single scenario where Vegeta gets to be useful again.
Anywho, Vegeta Usopp is going to be the one to actually end up saving the day. Look, this could be an opportunity to not only, bring Vegeta in to do that, but maybe he could deliver the finishing blow. Maybe Goku can at least set it up, set up the spike, alley-oop, if you will.
I think it's the exact opposite. I think it's going to go Frieza again, where Vegeta does all the work and then Goku swoops in and Kamehamehas his ass and then steals the win.
Well, it's either way, it's going to sell a lot of SH Figure Arts figures. Don't you want a whole Planet Earth Moro?
Yeah, like
SH
a big
Figure Art with
fucking
zero
ass
articulation.
Funko Pop thing that takes up your whole bookshelf.
Let's get down to the rundown of the chapter, our deeper thoughts. Let's go ahead and start with you.
Overall, great chapter. I think it's steering us towards the end of this arc quickly. We have maybe 2 chapters of action left, and then we go right into recap time to get it done, or get the now that the world's safe again, we get 1 or 2 of those, and then boom, we're into the next arc. Because I read some news that they're doing more.
Okay.
Does it surprise me? No, Because it's Dragon Ball. They're not done making this stuff. They're going to start the next arc. And I hope they involve other universes. I hope there's not another throwaway villain. And overall, I find Moro to be pretty empty. He checks all the right boxes, but I don't care about him very much. There'll never be another villain as good as Frieza. I think we all know that. But and also it would be probably a huge investment in time to try to create one like that. Because there'd be a lot of backstory, a lot of bullshit. And at this point, they need to focus more on like the higher arcs of like, Angels and Zeno and that sort of world. They need to go in that direction.
Okay, so I'm mixed on the chapter. I like it and I love it at the same time. The only things I don't really like are all the Goku things and the Senzu Bean stuff. But I really do like Moro as a villain. I like how different he is when compared to the previous villains of the series. It's always going to be incredibly...
But by look and powers only, not like storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing about Moro. Like, I love his abilities and his overall evil personality and everything, but it's always been such a tough act to follow the big three of Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu. Majin Buu is debatable for some people.
Yeah, it's like the big two.
But the thing is, we need a backstory more on this character. Like, I want to learn more about the deeper history of Moro, where he came from, how he attained his powers, what he didn't need to do to train to become as powerful as he truly is. There's a lot of interesting details about his character that I think would really flesh him out and make him all the more threatening. That being said, he's still a very entertaining villain, and without a shadow of a doubt, my favorite new original character from Dragon Ball Super. I'm going to take it that far. I do like a lot of the ones...
Like above Goku Black?
Above Goku Black.
Okay.
Like, I'm enjoying this story way more than the whole Future Trunks, Zamos time-traveling confusion story that was. I don't know what it is about this one.
This is more streamlined.
It is more streamlined, I will give it that. And I do think that there's more variety in terms of the characters that have been used, especially with all the galactic prisoners. And Moro himself, I think, has been very fun. Yes, he does a lot of the typical things we've seen before just in terms of the way he fights, but his magical abilities certainly make him unique. The fact that he has fused with a freaking android, which allows him to absorb other abilities as well, and just the fact that he is transformed into fucking Ego the Living Planet, like, that is just a cool image that will stick with me forever. Like, that's something that's really wholly unique for the series. The only thing I can even kind of, like, compare it to, and again, ironically, it's the Future Trunks arc when Zamos decided to become, like, one with the planet itself as well, just in a completely different
Was it the planet or just the everything?
The everything, basically. Yeah. It was, like, similar to that, but the way that this is visualized... Like, it's downright scary looking. Like, Moro, like, coming up out of the planet with his face and everything.
The goat head beam, yeah.
That is a classic and awesome image, and Goku using Ultra Instinct to get him against him is just gnarly. There's a lot of memorable stuff to look at in terms of the visuals of this chapter. Some of the choices, not a big fan of, but things could change. Whereas you said that the chapter might end, or this entire arc might end in like 2 to 4 chapters maybe, and we'll move on to the next thing, I have a feeling they can drag this out just a little bit longer. I think we're looking at least maybe another 5 or 6 chapters.
I'm not saying it's not going 5 or 6. I just think this villain is gone in the next 2 chapters.
It's possible. I mean... that's the problem. Like, I almost want it to go a little longer, though. Like, I don't want it to be resolved so soon.
But at least with Goku Black, he had a backstory. He fought Zamasu. Goku showed up. Zamasu had a thing against mortals. They had a fight. They set up that character.
They set up his history.
Yeah, like, Moro is just sort of...
I'm evil and I eat planets.
Yeah, and there's
nothing wrong with that. I don't know why I gave him the Skeletor voice, but yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just there's also no backstory.
Yeah.
And this character has no depth. He's essentially Majin Buu, I'm evil, with a little more personality.
Yeah, there's more under the hood with Moro. Like, he has a great evil personality, but there's not a lot of history to back up that
there's no backstory. So, and then I think, like, again, with Frieza, you had the best of both worlds. You get this backstory. He's hinted at. He's,
he's tied to the origins of, like, the 2 main characters of the series.
Yeah, I mean, there's way more connecting him. He's kind of like the Madara Uchiha of the series. Again, Madara more stole Frieza's backstory style than the other way around. But the point is, like, it was a little deeper. You got a deep bad guy who's pure evil, but also had a fun story. With Moro, you got the bad guy, but no story.
Yeah.
So it's just not as good. But I'm kind of glad they're not investing all that time, because at the same time, if you did care that much and they did invest that time and you didn't like this bad guy, we'd be stuck here a lot longer.
Yeah, and we've been here for a surprisingly long time with this galactic prison arc.
I'm still okay with once-a-month releases because they're drawn so well.
Yeah, if anything, the artwork has gotten tremendously better, and reading it is always really cool. Again, like I said, it's that imagery that ends up sticking out more so in the manga version than ever. I say it every review, though, but Toei, what the hell? Bring the anime back. Do it now.
They're going to do it, Corey. Don't worry. They're going to do it. What do you think about Goku's Circle Scar? Are you cool with that? Are you annoyed by that? Are you glad
It'll
it's not
disappear in a couple arcs, I'm sure. I
No,
don't know if they're
think
gonna
so.
have. I don't
It's
think
forever. I think it's forever.
You think they're gonna keep the whole circle scar continuity
he
thing
was
going?
He chest bursted him.
Yeah,
you know?
but I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that Goku has had like a giant hole in his body, and we haven't really seen.
Oh, you might be right. Damn.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Saiyans heal like Wolverine style. Like it's only a matter of time before eventually those scars disappear.
I'm just glad he didn't get a big fucking Luffy X.
No, that would have been too much. That would have been too similar.
Yeah, get that out of there.
Nah, and I don't think it's really necessary either, to be perfectly honest. But hey, if it sticks around, that's continuity. Besides, it doesn't even really matter. Most of the time, he's wearing a damn shirt anyway, unless he goes through a crazy transformation. So, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to keep the details that strong. Like I said, there's been so many retcons for Dragon Ball Super.
We'll see.
Otherwise, I still liked this chapter a lot. Even warts and all, the bad moments that might not exactly be the best writing in the world. At the end of the day, I'm still getting exactly what I want from the series, which is seeing my favorite characters, getting crazy scenarios and have fights. And even just smaller moments. Like, I loved Goku messing with Krillin at the beginning of the chapter, just casually taking the sensu beans away, although it led to a terrible decision. But again, the fighting, the imagery, all that stuff is awesome. I'm a cheap date. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5.
I completely agree. I mean, for me, it's what I waited for. I wanted more Ultra Instinct fighting. I got it. Goku made his attempt to be merciful. It backfired, but in some of the earlier choices where he's done that, it has worked out. So it is a character design that is not changing anytime soon.
Yep.
That's just how it is. And I enjoyed learning more about Ultra Instinct and how it has some invisible hockey type armor as well. And at the end of the day, anyone can learn Ultra Instinct. So I'm kind of excited to see what they do with this.
But they can't necessarily contain that power.
No, they have to train to use it. Like, Vegeta's going to get this eventually. He's getting it too. You know,
I still want Vegeta to do kind of his own thing. But
he is. He's going to set up Goku like 1-2, and then Goku's going to do everything else.
Alley-oop, bitches. There it is.
Right.
Well, that's our thoughts on the latest chapter of Dragon Ball Super, but we'd love to hear yours, so make sure to sound off in the comments section below. Did you think that Goku made a stupid decision? What do you think of his use of the Ultra Instinct form? And what about Moro transforming into a giant talking planet? How do you think this battle is going to wrap up? Make sure and sound off in the comments section below and give us your thoughts about the future of Dragon Ball Super. Aside from that, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you're already subscribed, make sure to hit that bell notification icon. It'll actually let you know when our videos are going to be released. If you did like the video itself, please hit the like button, share it with all your friends, all that jazz. I also want to take this time to go ahead and thank all of my patrons. You guys are freaking awesome. Not only are you watching our content all the time, but you're giving us monthly donations, which I can't thank you enough for. Remember, first-time donators, I will review an anime series of your choice. I just released my latest Patreon review, Strike Witches. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link for that in the description box for you guys to check out. But again, make sure to just continue to watch the videos if you want to make that donation. Remember, reviews coming your way. I also want to add your name to this list of super awesome people. You guys are effectively the producers of Ace Guru. So, guys, there it is. We'll see you all next time. And as always, stay dandy, baby.